Do. Dos. Dodo. Dodos. Dos dos. Dos dodos. Dos dedos. Dos dedos. Dedo dedo. Dodo dedo. Dedo de dodo. Dedo de dodo dedo. Dos dedos de dodo. Dos dedos de dodo de dos dedos de dodo. Dos dedos de dodo de dos dedos de dodo dedo. Dos dedos de dos dodos de dos dedos de dos dodos dedo.
Good morning, sweet pickle, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Friday, November 8th, 2024. This is The Drop. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to him, it's the bearded one, our favorite pick'em pickle, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey-ho! And over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Shout out to the stream team joining us live. Hit the like button, subscribe. Podcast listeners, 5-star ratings and reviews on today's Drop Pod. We got a lot, gentlemen. We're going to look at some early season trends and play a little trend or dead end. It's been years since we've done this segment. Tass has a new batch of Worst of the Week nominees, and we'll end with some rapid fire fun. But first, another Philadelphia 76ers star has been sidelined. Tyrese Maxey is expected to miss multiple weeks with a right hamstring injury. ESPN was first to report the news. Maxey exited Wednesday's loss against the Clippers with the injury. Oh boy. Philadelphia's very bad start to the season has potentially gotten even worse.
Yeah, I don't feel that bad for them. I just think one to 3 weeks with Tyrese Maxey out when they just got Paul George back looked good against the Clippers. Joel Embiid is coming back. There are only 4 teams in the East that are 500 or more. This is a good time to get injured. It's not bad at all. I know they were 47-35 last year and finished 7th. But I think they can get there. I think Joel Embiid is going to play more games than he did last year. He only played 39 last year. He's going to play more than that when they finished 7th. They got Paul George, and I know when he replaced Tobias Harris, it was like an act of the basketball gods. And then they go get Caleb Martin, and then they go get the French pickle and Gherkin Yabusele. It sure looked good this summer, and it doesn't look good right this second. But I think it looks okay in the Eastern Conference. Again, they're 2.5 games out of 4th place right now. I don't feel that bad for them with getting Paul George back and Embiid coming back in a couple of games. I don't think it's that bleak, really.
I disagree. I think this is terrible news for their NBA Cup hopes, because when I looked at the schedule on Basketball Reference, I just saw those in-season tournaments listed here. They are getting Embiid back. That is huge. But right now, the 76ers are 24th in offense, with Tyrese Maxey playing 40 minutes a game. Yeah. Maybe Paul George is a little bit better suited to kind of carry the team as a number one guy, since he has the experience from years past. You know, he's used to playing in injury-riddled lineups where he has to elevate his game, kind of stretch himself out a little bit. But Philadelphia really struggled, having only one star, one guy who could create shots in Tyrese Maxey. That's what they're going to be back to until Embiid returns. And that's the big thing to me is, like, it's almost unbelievable that they need this much from Joel Embiid once again after the summer they had. Yeah. Bringing in Paul George, Maxey, most improved player. Everybody's expecting him to take a leap. Obviously, he's getting hurt, but they made some nice help signings, but no guys that are going to be able to become the number 2 option if Embiid is missing time and if Maxey is out. So I'm a little worried for Philadelphia. You're right, Tess. I think they could finish in the play-in tournament. You don't want to be in the play-in tournament. You got to play a really good team in the first round. They lost in the first round last year.
This is fair. Yeah, that's bleak. I don't know how it's happening right now that there are only 500 teams or better in the Eastern Conference. Like, a part of that is, and why I don't feel so bad for them, is the Orlando Magic, who finished in that top 6 last year. Banchero is out. Mm-hmm. The Bucks have not started well. Obviously, the Bucks are going to get better. The Knicks are going to get better. They're below 500 right now. I'm not so sure about the Magic, but I do see that there's still the chance that they could finish top 6 in this Eastern Conference. I don't think it's that far-fetched.
Yeah, but it's also not far-fetched with Embiid still missing a couple of games. You know, he usually takes a while to sort of get into game shape too.
Sure.
Like they could be 1-10 to start this season. You know,
it could be
2-11, whatever it is. And then you're looking at like, holy crap! Now we got to bank on Embiid playing, let's say 50 to 55 games, and within those games we got to win at like an 80% clip to then even sort of sniff like 45 to 50 wins to get into a playoff spot and avoid a play-in, because I'm with you, Trey. Like, outside of the Miami Heat, we haven't seen a team make a crazy run from the play-in. It's whatever magic Heat, voodoo magic Heat magic they do there. Very confusing with another team named the Magic, but you know my point.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing that, and it's unlikely because you're going to be playing the best of the best teams if you're trying to come through the play-in. So it's brutal.
And it's going to have to take some Heat magic for them to win the NBA Cup. I throw the Magic in there because in their division, it's the Knicks and the Magic.
Right.
It's pretty tough. Obviously, I just said Banchero is hurt, so that helps them a little bit. But it is odd seeing Joel Embiid coming back now in 2 games. It's going to be after 2 games, along with Paul George, and they're going to be back-to-backs in their schedule. It's full of back-to-backs. And they have said that Embiid and Paul George aren't playing in back-to-backs. So in these couple games when Joel Embiid makes his debut, likely on Wednesday, Paul George may be sitting because it's part of a back-to-back. So there's that part as well. There are guys saying, that being said, that 39 games that Joel Embiid played last year, I was by far the lowest in a long time for him. And so I do think he will play more. That's just me sitting here thinking that. But it does help Tyrese Maxey just to get Paul George back a lot, just on that team, and Embiid back. So it was a lot of pressure on Tyrese Maxey's shoulders. That is for sure.
He was averaging basically 28 points per game, 4 assists, quite low, obviously, for your sort of lead handler, 3 boards for the banged-up Sixers. He was getting asked to do way too much in terms of minutes and obviously playmaking responsibility and scoring load. They were sort of like, hey, man, can you be Allen Iverson for us? And his efficiency suffered. I mean, he has a career low true shooting percentage, career high usage percentage, 1 million 3-pointers that he's taking, a lot of in pull-up in transition there and stuff like that. He was just taxed, and now they're going to miss him. So what? Lowry, I guess, gets the start? He was sort of like starting when Paul George was out. Now Paul George is back. He probably gets the Maxey minutes. I guess Reggie Jackson maybe gets more burn as a backup guard.
Let's see what you got, Jared McCain.
Yeah.
TikToks.
He's got TikToks.
But he might be able to play a little bit. I think he probably will have to have a role. He should at least get a chance alongside Reggie Jackson, probably as the backup guy. But you're exactly right. Maxey's just not a number 1 guy right now. Last season, the Sixers were 31-8 when Embiid played, which means they were, 16-25 when he didn't play. And Maxey just doesn't have the efficiency, the playmaking chops right now to be the number 1 guy. And then you factor in, this is a reevaluate in a week, and then we'll see what's happening. Maybe he misses 3 weeks of time, but we're still talking about Tyrese Halliburton's hamstring injury from last year. Has that slowed him down almost a year after? It's just Philly hours, honestly, for the Sixers. Like, it looks so nice, and then it just falls apart so easily.
Spike Eskin of the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast tweeted yesterday that riled up some people. Quote, "People are so weird about Maxey. He's a very good player. I love him. Not a player you can build a title team around as its best player. Not even close. Hit big shots? Sure. Take over some games? Yes. Centerpiece? No." That goes to what you were sort of speaking to, TK. People take offense to it because, look what this guy's doing. The guy is a bucket and all that. And they make the Iverson comparisons, or maybe even it's far-fetched, but Curry comparisons. Spike counters that. Maxey's more like a Beal than those guys ever was at this point. And he's still a super young guy and maybe turns into more of a superstar. But he was being asked to do too much, and he's not a number 1 guy. No. At least to drag teams to victories every night. No.
Spike hit that right on the head, right on the nail.
Right on the spike?
Yes, right on that spike. It's absolutely correct. That's totally true. Just think of him when he doesn't have to take these monstrous step backs as a small guy. He's taking these step backs and he just doesn't look right when he takes them. Like, they're giant steps back that he takes. Think about it when he's playing off Embiid, like he did last year when he was an all-star and he looked awesome. And playing off Paul George when it's more catch and shoot, more catch and straight drives. It'll be way different to be a complimentary guy. I don't know if Nick Nurse could have done anything with this roster the way it is without Paul George and Joel Embiid. I don't know if playing him nearly 40 minutes a game, Tyrese Maxey is leading the league in minutes played per game, had anything to do with a hamstring injury. That being said, I don't think there are really any options. I mentioned the Caleb Martin, obviously, is a great pickup. Gershon Yabusele, a great pickup. The Eric Gordon doesn't look good. Eric Gordon looks old right now, that pickup. Although Kyle is old, but he still looks young. So I'm not extremely worried. Yeah, the Jared McCain, when he has played in a preseason, he's looked good. I don't see why he wouldn't play.
We will see what the Sixers record is here as we get to 10, 11 games and Embiid finally does get back, he is going to have to be doing a whole lot. And it's a different team when he's out there, but yeah, now you're saying, hey, Embiid, now you have to be healthy basically all season for us to maybe just get in to play in or playoffs. All right. 2.5 weeks into the 24-25 NBA season here. Plenty of trends, some early season developments. Caught some of us by surprise, but how real are they? Let's play Trend or Dead End. Oh, yeah. New intro.
This segment is back. I thought it was a dead end.
Yeah.
Here it comes. This has been, how many years have we not done this segment?
It's from the starters days, I guess. I don't remember us doing it as No Dunks.
No.
So that's at least 5 years.
Yep.
It's back, baby. Trend or dead end? Okay, I'm going to throw some, like I said, early season trends at you, and we can debate whether they might continue or very unlikely. First one. It's the most talked about storyline of the season. NBA teams are taking more three-pointers than ever. So through the first 2 weeks of the season, it was something like 42% of all shot attempts have been threes, which would surpass the 40% mark in 21-22 for the most in NBA history. So we're on record-setting pace here. And for a while, and we have a graph to show you by way of the ringer, for a while the three-point revolution, it did level off a little bit there. Sort of post Splash Brothers Warriors championship run, started to level off, but here we go again, and maybe that's because the Celtics and the Mavericks reached the finals, and they were first and second in long-range attempts. So the three-point shot, all the rage right now, guys. Do you think this will continue, or will it come back to earth a little bit here as the season progresses? Trend or dead end?
It's a trend. They're really only taking 2 more three-point attempts per game, and that's total. So that's 1 per team, really, than last year. And last year is basically the same as that record that you just said. I mean, they're basically taking 37 attempts per game total. That's all they're taking right now. And it was 35 last year. So when you say 42%, it sounds higher because it's a higher
of the
number.
Shot percentage. Yeah.
Because they're only taking 89 shots per game. So yes, it's about 37. But I think, they're just going to continue to go up. I mean, they have been going up for a long time. Basically, there's been tiny little blips, but they've been going up since 87, 88. Now, hold on a second. Gone up every year since 87, 88.
I mean, it's continually rising. Yes. They're like you said, there are leveling off and little blips here and there, but for the most part, of course, it keeps going up.
Yeah, that is entirely true.
And people hate basketball now.
That's why
the long twos.
That's why I just don't feel like it's that different than last year. When you see the numbers, I guess, but it doesn't feel all that different to me. I mean, yes, it was the hot talk after the Boston game on an opening night.
Right.
It doesn't feel like, yes, a lot of threes. Yes, I'd like more post-ups, sure, but I don't know. My mouth isn't that dirty. I don't feel that grossed out by it.
Okay.
There's no bad taste in my mouth.
My mouth isn't that dirty. Another way to say I don't have a bad taste in my mouth.
I don't sit there thinking, gosh, this is gross. I mean, it's basketball, and they take literally 1 more three-pointer per game on each side. Isn't that different than last year when basketball was amazing? I don't think so.
You think the trend
People
continues?
were happy with basketball last season.
Yep.
Interesting.
I do.
Basically, pull-up mid-range jumpers are now pull-up threes.
Right.
And there's no way that NBA teams are going to be like, you know what? A tougher 2 is actually a better shot than a three-pointer right now. So, of course, this is going to continue to go up unless the NBA comes through with any kind of rule changes. Like last year, there was a ton of fouls until suddenly there weren't a ton of fouls. Unfortunately, the reason or the rule changes that might actually have an effect, they are not going to happen in the middle of the season. We're not going to change the three-point line halfway through. We're not going to stretch it out. We're not going to get rid of corner threes. There's no real officiating that can be done to make teams take less threes. So, of course, they're going to take a whole bunch. The league is a copycat league. And like you said, Skeets, the top 2 teams in three-point attempts last year made the finals.
Yeah.
I do think it's a little different this year. I look at the Bulls. They take so many more threes.
Right.
All the bad teams are like, you know what? If you're a bad team, just shoot a bunch of threes. That's a way to stay in these games and game the math. So it has changed, but I agree. I also don't have a dirty mouth right now because people are always shooting pull-up jumpers. They're just 3 feet back now.
Yeah, we have 13 guys averaging 9 or more three-point attempts per game. I'm including Curry here, who obviously missed some games, but he is at that 9 three-pointer attempted per game. It's LaMelo Ball with nearly 12 attempts per game from deep. Tatum, he's over 11. So is Anthony Edwards. Tyrese Maxey is right there. Dame's at 10 three-point attempts per game. And then it goes Luka, Derek White, Jalen Green, Peyton Pritchard, Trey Young, Buddy Hield, and Kobe White. And then, like I said, Curry would be the 13th guy. He's not on Basketball Reference's page there, probably because he missed some games. But it's pretty wild seeing, especially when you get to the 10s and 11s and knocking on 12 for one guy. That's not Steph Curry. That's the only guy where you're like, okay, that makes sense. It's like these other guys. But crazy stuff. But for the most part, everybody thinks this trend continues. All right, next one here. The Thunder. Historic NBA defense right now through 2.5 weeks. They're allowing only 96.3 points per 100 possessions during their hot start, more than 8 more per 100 better than the second place Warriors, who have obviously flexed their defense here early in the season. According to our guy Fred Katz at The Athletic, no team has churned out a double-digit defensive rating in a single season since the 67-win Spurs, which was 9 years ago. So we're talking sub 100, right, when it comes to defensive rating. So we'll start with you, Trey. Trend or dead end, with the Thunder sort of achieving that, let's say. An elite defense, maybe the best defense, but sub 100 in the defensive rating.
I think it's a trend because this team can get better on defense. They're currently 18th in defensive rebounding rate. That's why they signed Isaiah Hartenstein, who has yet to play for the team this season. So yeah, I think this is going to stick around. They are forcing the highest turnover rate since the 1998-99 Philadelphia Sixers. The most turnovers in the league in the past 25 years. They have 5 guys right now in the top 30 in steals.
Wow.
It's incredible. They have so many playmakers. It's like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was close to leading the league in steals last season, and he's like maybe their 5th best defender. Guy got Defensive Player of the Year votes. So yeah, this team is locked in on defense. They have so many different ways they can play defense as well. Like, they don't have to have Dort and Caruso out there all the time, but they do a lot, right? Aaron Wiggins is a solid defender, and he's their 8th man. So yeah, this Thunder defense is awesome. They're going to remain awesome, and eventually their offense is even going to get better, and that's really scary.
Yeah, their offense will definitely get better. Yeah, it's going to be very close as to whether or not they can keep it in 2 digits.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think there are some things that can make it go up a little bit. I think integrating Hartenstein is new for them, at the 4 playing with Holmgren. Their opponents are shooting only 31% on wide open threes.
Yep.
Some will go down on wide open threes. They are just doing extremely well, but they will be helped on the defensive rebound rate that Trey brought up when Hartenstein comes back. They were awesome before they played the Nuggets on Wednesday, and Shai and Caruso were killing it together, and then they had a bad game together against the Nuggets, but they are ridiculously good. When Caruso comes out there to team with Shai, they're holding teams to scoring only 85 points per 100 possessions. That's extremely good. They're kicking teams' ass by 33 points, and it was by 49 before the Nuggets when they had a bad run. So I think there's just going to be some bad runs, but they basically force a turnover 1 time every 5 possessions. That's pretty freaking good.
That's wild.
They lead the league in steals, blocks, deflections, opponent turnover percentage, opponent's effective field goal percentage, defensive loose balls recovered, total loose balls recovered, because those are fun to think about. Yeah, they are good. They have all those small guys. Like when Casey Wallace comes out, he's just freaking good.
Yeah.
He gets after it. Like Trey said,
he's a top 20 steals guy.
Yeah.
You've basically listed them all now. They have 6 defenders on the wing that are like well above average, and some of them elite. Shai is pretty good for a superstar guy defensively, at least. J-Dub, Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, Aaron Wiggins, and then Caruso, probably the best of the bunch. I mean, him and Dort are just amazing.
Caruso's insane.
Just zero pushovers there.
Literally insane.
People have called them, they like to bark, obviously, in their post-game interviews. I saw Haberstroh called them the Dobermans. Fred Katz called them the insects, which I was like, They keep the basketball away from their opponent's best playmakers. They create all these turnovers. The insects. I was trying to figure out.
Is that something the insects do?
Pests?
Pests, I guess.
They are pests.
Yeah, they're pests. Yeah, that's, I guess, where Fred Katz is going. We'll have to get him on the show to confirm
I like the
that.
Dobermans. That's a Chicago Bulls 1990s reference.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant.
But they register 13.4 steals per game. And the Hawks are second at 10.1, so it's a hell of a gap.
So you're saying it ain't all steals that make defense go, because the Thunder are great at defense and they get a lot of steals. The Hawks get a lot of steals and they are not great at defense.
Yeah.
So what's the difference there? Chet Holmgren is the difference.
Big difference.
And I went into looking at this. Could he win Defensive Player of the Year? Chet Holmgren. Their defense is awesome. Mm-hmm. He's going to be going up against Wemby, so I started looking into it. The Spurs are 10th in defensive rating. after being really bad last year. I think they were 22nd last year. I was like, all right, so let's check the stocks numbers. Chet, 2.9 blocks per game. That's a ton. Wemby's at 3.7. Chet, 1.0 steals per game. Pretty good for a big guy. Wemby's at 1.7.
Damn.
Rebounds, though, 9.8 for Chet. Only 9.6 for Wemby.
Oh, wow.
He could easily finish second, I think. Chet could.
What'll be fascinating is if they have this elite defense, and it's one of the best we've seen, in a decade, it's like, who gets the nod, if anybody, from the team for a Defensive Player of the Year? Because it is sort of a team award. We've seen that before with Rudy and other guys. Marcus Smart's the perfect example. When he got it with the Celtics, who does it go to?
Chet. He's their best defender, for sure.
Well,
goes to a big man.
Maybe. Goes to a big man? Well, didn't in Smart's case.
Yeah, that's a rare one. Yeah, for sure.
That was a dumb one. That was literally a dumb one.
When do they start handing out a team award for best defense?
Yeah, right.
I don't think it's crazy. Another thing that the Thunder are so good at is deflections. As I said, they lead the league in deflections. They're 3 better deflections per game than the Warriors, then almost 6 point something, almost 7 than the third place team. So it's a big number. The deflections is so key.
And a huge part of that is because all these guys we listed, it's like, hey, come in and go nuts for 25 minutes, or 20 minutes, like in some of their cases. Like, it's not like, it's different when you're like, damn, I got to play hard-ass defense for 35 to 40 minutes a game, and I got to do all this on the other offensive end as well. It's like they don't have to worry about that. It's like they can just be so disruptive because they just keep cycling them in. It's nuts.
They're full of insects. That bench is full of insects. And obviously,
insects.
Dagnall is good at just playing different lineups. And the Thunder are good at adapting to that at all times because he plays so many guys, so many different lineups already. I mean, they're already playing with their 5th starter now because they can. Because they're good.
All right, next one here. I came up with this one. A trend right now. Buddy Hield, favorite for 6th man of the year and most improved player. You're not going to find this one on BetMGM. You're not going to find this one on FanDuel. This is from the Skeets book. But listen to this. Buddy Hield, a revelation in Golden State. He's averaging 21.1 points per game off the bench. He's shooting better from the field, hitting more threes, and scoring almost as many points as Steph freaking Curry, which is nuts. And after bouncing around 5 teams in the previous 8 seasons, and even falling out of the Sixers playoff rotation last year, Buddy has found the perfect landing spot, and he's just been incredible. So is this a trend, Tass, or am I going overboard with Buddy not only winning 6th man of the year, but maybe most improved too? Because look at the bounce back here. It'd be a weird one. This is where we don't usually go with most improved anymore, but I'm throwing it out there for fun. What do you think? Tread or dead end?
It is a weird one. I got to go dead end. I don't think he can win both.
Okay.
I think 6th man is doable.
Sure.
Obviously, he is destroying the other 6 men in terms of scoring points per game. And he's buying in. This is something that I didn't think would happen with Buddy Hield, period. They tried it back when he was with his real first team with the Sacramento Kings. He went from the Pelicans to the Sacramento Kings. Luke Walton, their head coach, tried it. He tried it. It was 1920, played a bunch of games off the bench, but he wasn't happy. So next season, he played every single game as a starter. Then Luke Walton said, come on, this ain't working. Come off the bench again. Lukey got fired basically immediately the following season. Luke Walton, former Warriors assistant head coach. He was ahead of his time with Buddy Hield. But Buddy didn't buy in, but Buddy's buying in now. The six man is legitimate. The most improved. It's just like you can't do it, right?
But hey, Buddy's increased his output from last season by 9 points per game in the basically same amount of minutes, which is pretty insane. Yeah. I know there are other guys too for most improved.
This is a good book. This is a good. Why don't you make a betting site? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say just be a bookie dude.
Skeets Duel. Yeah, that's better than Skeets books. What do you think, Trey? Is this? Am I going too far here with Buddy pulling off the double win here? With
Look, most improved is going to be tough. Sure, he's going to be 32 at the end of the season. We've had one guy ever who was 30 or older win most improved player. Who was it? You know this guy.
Turkoglu?
Nope.
No,
he's a youngsty. It was the 98-99 season, and this man was heavily caffeinated.
Oh, Daryl Armstrong.
Daryl Armstrong, the only guy 30 or older to ever win most improved player. And after Kobe White didn't get it last year, after he had like a Buddy Hield like jump in scoring, it ain't gonna happen. But I'm with Tess. I think 6 man is reasonable. I think he'll at least be in the mix. He probably won't shoot 50% from 3 all year, but he'll be over 40. by far, because he fits perfectly in the Warriors system, and the guy gets his shot off in a second, so it's not like he's going to stop shooting. But like guys like Peyton Pritchard will be in the mix, Ben Mathurin, Naz Reid won it last year, Karis LeVert has been great, Malik Monk I think probably still has a chance once we get into it, but through the first 2.5 weeks of the season, Buddy's the guy.
Yeah. There are only a few other guys averaging over 16 points per game off the bench this year. And Buddy, like I said, is at 21 plus. It's John Collins, Trey Mann, and Peyton Pritchard as the only other ones over that mark. So, yeah. 6-man more likely for Buddy. Most improved. It's going to continue to go to your Jalen Johnson types, or maybe even Cade Cunningham, I guess, or RJ Barrett, someone that maybe leveled up. I get that, but still, Buddy's, that's a hell of a bounce back. I want the old guy to get it.
It's a bounce back from last year directly, but you think of Buddy, the guy can put it in the hole.
Yeah, he used to be a 20-point per game scorer, with the Kings.
With those Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
But yes, Peyton Pritchard looks like a new man. I think he's going to be part of that. Terrence Mann. Now Ben Mathurin is starting, so that takes him out of it. But there's lots of guys that can fight him for the 6-man. But like you said, Jalen Johnson as most improved for sure. Mobley's usage rate is up. So I just wanted to get that in there because his numbers aren't dramatically up, but there's so much sharing in Cleveland. I don't think he gets that. Chet Holmgren and maybe a Grady Dick. I know it's only year 2, so that's not allowed. But he's in there. There's lots in both.
Well, for today only, I'm going to boost the odds on Buddy going for 6-man and most improved. I'm going to boost them to plus 1,100 over on Skeet Stool. So go check that out. Use our promo code NODUNKS. All right, next one here, trend or dead end. The West dominating the East. This one comes from the machine, Kevin Pelton. After a season in which 11 Western Conference teams were 500 or better and a pair of 46-win teams in the Warriors and Kings missed the playoffs, we expected the West to be the stronger conference between the two. But nothing could have prepared us for this lopsided start to interconference matchups. After last night's games, and I think we had 2 of them, West teams have gone 27-11 against the East thus far. Strong point differential as well. That's a 71 win percentage, West versus East. The highest we've ever had since the ABA-NBA merger was 03-04 when the West won 63% of their head-to-head matchups, which is pretty damn good too. That was a year where we had like the Wolves, Spurs, Lakers, and Kings all winning over 55 games. I had a lot of good teams in the West that year. But anyway, 71%. Trend or dead end, West kicking ass against the East, TK.
Does it have to be 70% winning?
I mean, maybe can it beat the record of 63%?
It could.
Yeah.
But I would say this has been a trend for 25 years.
Well,
from 1999 until the end of last season, the Eastern Conference had a 44% winning percentage against the Western Conference. The West beat the East head-to-head 22 out of 25 seasons. So, yeah, this is going to continue to happen. There ain't no way the Eastern Conference is going to make back the deficit they're already here. You said it was, 27 out of 38 games? So, already I know the Western Conference is going to finish over 500 against the East. Can it beat the record? Yeah, probably, because I think some of the Eastern Conference teams will get even worse. Like, the Bulls will likely trade their veterans. The Nets will fall off at some point. The Wizards, they've already fallen off unless they're playing the Hawks, really. So I think the teams in the Eastern Conference can bottom out even harder, and maybe that's the only way that we flip this for us Eastern Conference fans. Get some high draft picks.
Sure.
How do they keep going to the West?
Yeah, I think they will... 71% no, but that's going to be better than last year, which we all thought the West is way better than the East. The West was 650 and 580. So that's a winning percentage of 577. Yeah. So, 60%. It's going to be better than last year because they're just so damn good. And it feels that way. But the numbers have to drop a little bit. But will it be the best one ever? Beat 633 in the year 2003, 2004? That's the thing that we're all going to be watching.
I got my
that
eye
percentage point.
I got my eye on it. I guess the Celtics have only played one Western Conference team. They lost to the Warriors. The Cavs have played a couple. I know they played the Pelicans. They think they played the Lakers. That's only 2. So my point is, the best of the best in the East haven't had a lot of cracks, at least, at the Western Conference. Maybe that'll help balance it out. But I think I'm with you guys. I think it's potentially in play that we have a record here, maybe, with just so many good Western Conference teams to maybe beat that 63% in head-to-head matchups in 03-04. All right, next one. This one's for you, Pickle Man. The Bulls leading the race in pace. The Bulls have been running the fastest-paced offense in the NBA through 9 games now. A very significant development here under head coach Billy Donovan. Schumann says the Bulls have seen the league's biggest jump in pace by a huge margin, ranking first, 105.2 possessions per 48 minutes after ranking 28th in the league last season at 96.9. They are just playing a completely different brand of basketball. Now, I'd love to hear your reasoning why. I'm sure DeRozan, obviously, departing has some impact on it.
That's
but
100% the reason.
Are there any other things that you're seeing? And, I mean, I was going to ask you if it's working.
Of course it's working. Of course it's working, Skeets. The Bulls went over 500 for the first time in 2 years. Haven't won since. 4 straight losses, including somehow losing a blowout to the Timberwolves last night, despite having a lead with 9 minutes left.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But that's why they're going to keep doing it. Mark Eversley told ESPN's Jamal Collier this week that Josh Giddey plays exactly how we want to play. He plays fast. The Bulls scrimmaged all preseason with a 14-second shot clock. They want to play fast out there, and Giddey is the perfect tank commander. He gets the ball up fast, and they stink. Like, they're playing fast. They're shooting a lot of threes. Yep. They can get in these games because they shoot the ball. Like, if they shoot 50% from 3 on 43s, they're in the game. Right. But basically, they're going to lose. So top 5 to me is a trend. I don't know if they'll necessarily finish number 1, but there are 11 teams averaging 100 or more possessions a game. The Bulls are number 1 right now, 104.4. Washington is right behind, 104.0. But Billy Donovan went Dr. Seuss mode in the preseason. He said, we don't run, we're done. It's that simple. If we run, we'll have some fun. Great stuff.
I hadn't heard that.
I know. We don't run, we're done. If we run, we'll have some fun.
Nothing in there says about winning games, though.
No.
But we'll have fun.
We'll have fun. And it is a different version of the Bulls to watch. So, yeah, I think they will continue to play very fast, and I think they will continue to lose games even when they're ahead. But they've had a couple of comebacks as well, right? Yeah. So that's how it is.
Every coach should take that saying to their kids. I mean, if we run, we'll have some fun. Good point. Otherwise, we're done. Yeah, this team just shoots a little too quickly in a period, but in shot clocks, just why don't they move the ball a little bit more? They do pass quite a bit, but then they just pass to rifle it off, as our man John Schumann said. They average just 13.2 seconds per offensive possession, the shortest in the league. You got 24 seconds. Use a few of them to get a better look than what they're doing. I think, yes, like we were talking about with the three-pointers, I think they will slow down. Not the three-pointers in general, but just what you're looking at, Like, the pace just might slow down a little bit is what I'm trying to get all the way around to.
Well, they're not going to be having fun if that happens.
Yeah, probably not.
No fun.
Yeah.
You're no fun. You want to slow it down? Come on.
Trends change from the first couple weeks of a season.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. One other note from Shu that I thought was interesting when you're talking about pace or looking at it, he said the Bulls have seen the 3rd biggest drop in offensive rebounding percentage. This, of course, affects their pace because fewer offensive boards equals shorter possessions. Mm-hmm. So that's a little interesting note there. But you remove DeRozan working the mid-range game. I can't talk today. You got Josh Giddey pushing the tempo. You got a bunch of three-pointers going up. Yep. Not great rebounding on the offensive glass.
Not great, Bob.
You're going to be playing fast. I think they'll stay one of the fastest teams in the league. Will they have the best pace? Who knows?
My guy Vooch shooting it well, though. A lot of teams can use Vooch, and guess what? That speeds them up even faster. Yeah. Like if Jalen Smith becomes their starting center and all he does is shoot threes, and they're not even going to slow it down to get into Vooch. But you can tell it's working. The Bulls first in pace, 28th in offense. Keep it moving. Get it up. We got to get these quick shots in so that we can miss faster.
Final one here, and it's a weird one. Trend or dead end of John Collins having the highest dunk score at the end of the season. And we've got the graph here. The NBA shared this the other day, finally telling us who has the best dunk scores of the year so far is John Collins with a 113.4. Remember, this is out of a scale of 120. And then we got Brandon Miller. We got Brown, who hammered one on Gobert. We got a Giannis. We got a Missy. But let's just show you the John Collins dunk. This is the dunk of the year so far, according to the dunk score. Kobe White getting popped in the face.
Wow.
But a big dunk from the Baptist.
Yeah, that's nice.
Is this going to be a trend, though? Will this stay tasked the highest dunk score of the year, or was something better coming down the pipeline?
Well, I need to know, is the scale... Is part of hammering the other guy's face part of that scale? Because that was a savage hit from John Collins to Kobe White's face. But I think this is a dead end. I think this is all a bunch of categories based on a judge. Like it's just biased judging, like we see in other. I'm guessing here because I don't know each category, but it is. And so when the judges see a bigger dunk by a star player on a bigger defensive player, key time of the game, I think you'll get closer to 120. That's what I'm evaluating.
Okay.
That's what I'm seeing from this side. Key time of the season later. Yeah, bigger player, bigger defender. Kobe White's a tiny guy.
Key time of the season, or even within the game. I'm not sure it's a part of the criteria, but it's interesting you bring that
I know.
up.
That's
I don't think it is.
It might not be, but it will be in a judge's mind. Just being entirely biased.
Okay.
Right? I think that's what it all comes down to when it comes to judges.
So maybe like NBA
perhaps.
Cup dunk or something like that will count for more.
Yeah, that's a great one. A game-winning dunk or something.
Okay.
Yeah, color of the floor is one of the criteria, actually, so that could bump it up for sure. But Tass is right. This is a dead end. We don't have like an awesome John Morant or Anthony Edwards dunk yet. Ant got close on Vooch last night.
Yep.
But I think we'll eventually have, like Tass is saying, a smaller player dunking on a bigger player, because honestly, it's ridiculous. This is the number one dunk. It's an offensive foul. He hits Kobe White right in the face.
Yep.
That's an offensive foul all the time. Number two, how much taller is John Collins than Kobe White? Half a foot?
Yeah.
Christian Brown should have the number one dunk right now. On Gobert.
One on Rudy.
Two-handed?
That's monstrous.
Hey, it was third, man. It was high.
Yeah.
I don't know where he took off specifically. Maybe that really docked him.
The power score is big on the Collins one for sure.
Yeah.
Did they take a couple brownie points off Christian Brown because he went up into Rudy Gobert's face afterwards? I don't know. The biased judge
You think
may
that
have
would
done
gain
that.
you points, if
You'd
anything.
think so, but
Step
in
into
the NBA,
the guy after.
the NBA doesn't like that anymore. It doesn't like any tolerance. I would say if Kobe White sells that hit to his face, maybe it's entirely different. Maybe it's an offensive foul. Because he didn't sell it at all.
Too tough.
He got hammered.
Well, what else could he do in selling it, though? His head went firing back because he got punked in the face.
Yeah, but you don't see it when it's live. He could have literally just, put his, like anybody who sells the flop, just put his hand on his chin afterwards. Like, ow. Did you see that? Or hit the floor. I mean, he literally he took it, bounced, and he came back for some more. Good for him.
Yeah.
Should we rate guys who get dunked on? He'd get 115 in my book. Okay. I mean, he went after it, took a hit.
Trend or dead end? Let's hear your thoughts on some of those early season developments. Let me know which one you guys agree with these guys on, whether it will continue or not. Okay, let's get to worst of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the worst of the week.
All right, you tell me who the worst of the week was. We've got several good nominees. First one, a scene we saw at the Toyota Center. A Houston Rockets fan was ejected from the arena. He had a good seat now. It was about the fifth row seat, and he tweeted, "Don't make me run on the court tonight, Houston." #liftoff. He tweeted that pre-game and was ejected, apparently. That he was kicked out for tweeting that. And then he clarified, "This got me kicked out, y'all. Be careful what you tweet." So
Really?
Yeah.
This is true?
Yeah, I mean, we have to go on what happened here on Twitter. We don't have any report from any actual news media center or from the arena itself. But you can kind of imagine that he was ejected because he said, "I'm going to run on the floor."
I think the hashtag did him in.
Liftoff?
#liftoff.
That's an actual team hashtag.
That's what I'm saying. How did the Rockets see this otherwise?
You shouldn't have hashtagged it.
That was his mistake.
Yeah.
Well,
got him.
Yeah, and I can understand the security having a discussion with this fan if they saw this tweet. Hello, are you going to run onto the floor tonight? Because you shouldn't. Now, but after that, how do you kick a guy out because of a tweet? He literally kicked a person out of a tweet. Then he was asked further, just to give you more details, he was asked how long the ban was on Twitter again. And he said, for the year.
Wow.
So that sounds like, either 12 months or for the entire season. Then he said, real 100. I just wanted my team to win. I guess I was over passionate.
Yeah, this is odd.
It's an odd one. So who do you give the worst?
Because it's not one of those tweets of like, hey guys, 1,000 likes and I'll run on the court, or $500 to my Venmo account and I'll run on the court. It wasn't of that variation, right? It's like I'm sitting close, and like it does feel in jest. I mean, I don't know this person at all,
and I assume he's sitting in that fifth row because it's behind the backboard. It looks like he's sitting there, but
I guess you
could be walking by these seats. We've done that before. People have done that before. You take a photo. When we're media and we don't have good seats, we do that. We're like just walking by.
Act like we're sitting here.
So that's just a pregame photo. Or he was excited.
I guess don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
That was his advice. He was tweeting everybody saying, just so everybody knows, you can get kicked out of the Toyota Center. I mean, you're right, though. Could have just been because of the hashtag liftoff. And
that's how they saw it. I'm convinced that's why they saw it.
That's quite possible.
It's either that or the precogs saw it in the future and they said, we got to get rid of this crime before it happens, Minority Report style.
Possibly.
Very nice. Okay, next Worst of the Week nominee, the Miami Heat. Because they had a medal recognition night for Bam Adebayo for winning gold at the Paris Olympics, and they hung a banner in the arena for Bam Adebayo for winning a gold medal. This is something the Miami Heat do. When you see this photo here, next up with his Bam and his mom, that are looking up at the banners. You see Tim Hardaway, Alonzo Mourning, when they won in Sydney in 2000, they have banners for those guys.
Okay.
Because they were members of the Miami Heat, I guess, at the time.
Yep.
Didn't get traded later in that season. That would be really weird, right? You get traded in the off season, then you can't get a banner. But you win a gold medal for the Miami Heat, you get a banner. Now, obviously, it's a great achievement. It's admirable. Like, that is fantastic, but where do you draw the line? I guess that's where the line is. Like, what if he won a Booker Award? What if he won the Pulitzer's Prize? Do you throw that up there?
Right,
like, where's the line?
That'd be awesome.
I guess the line is you win a gold medal, you get
that's a good line.
You get a banner. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm not so upset about it. It's just the Miami Heat.
It's on brand for the Heat.
Yeah, they do
with their banners. I mean, they'll give everybody a banner. They like banners up there.
They got a Marino banner.
Dan Marino, man.
Which is weirder, the Jordan banner or Dan Marino? I mean, Jordan is a basketball player, at least. Dan Marino, though, is a Miami legend.
Yeah, that's wow.
I think Jordan is way weirder.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, you're in the city
opposition?
where Marino is Miami legend.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Fine. Is there another weird one in Miami? Do they have Gretzky? Was it Wayne Gretzky in that one?
In Miami?
Yeah. Where am I thinking of Wayne Gretzky? It was somewhere.
I think it's in Miami, but I don't know what they got up there. They're giving Bam a banner for winning gold.
So you deem it as odd?
I think it's a little odd. I mean, I like that you told me that they have ones for Tim Hardaway and... Who was it?
Alonzo.
Okay.
Wade,
so they're
LeBron.
Yeah, so they're sticking with that theme. Sure. Then that's the thing. Once they did the first one for that, giving a banner to somebody that was on a gold medal team, then you have to do it moving forward for a player that was on your squad that wins gold. And now you put yourself into that corner. But
I think that's the way it literally went. Like, Dwayne Wade won a gold in 2008. They gave him a banner, so then they had to go back and give him to Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
Or Tim Hardaway Sr., sorry.
Right.
Literally,
right.
That's what happened.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. As I Google.
That's crazy, huh?
So that's weird.
But I like that they're off to the side. They're not there with their retired jerseys. Right? They're not there with their championship things. They're like, this is our arena. We hang up stuff that happens for our players. Mm-hmm. Did Eric Spoelstra get one?
No.
Assistant coach, gold medal.
Yeah. They don't even get a medal.
They don't get medals.
That's true. That's a great point.
And I'm looking here at the Miami rafters. It looks like they're right beside the Hardaway and Mourning jerseys, but maybe they've moved them since.
Oh, I was just looking at that picture. I don't know.
That was probably appropriate. The weird thing is about the Olympics, they also have the Olympics logo on each time they went. So there's a Sydney 2000 logo.
I like that. That's a nice touch.
The Beijing logo.
I love Olympic logos.
You love all
logos? So I would be
logos?
looking up there and be like, oh yeah, Sydney. That was a nice one. That was a good one.
Oh, those are great to make fun of, though. Sometimes they're not so
they're
good.
insane, yeah. I wish they had the mascots for the Olympics up there. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, I think they have moved the jerseys since. They've moved them to a different spot where they're all together, essentially, and away from everything else.
Okay.
In the jerseys.
Yeah, this is so fun.
Yeah.
Where did we see? Was it Bon Jovi was retired? And sometimes they have musical artists, right? Taylor Swift in a different arena.
Yeah. That's the arena doing it.
Yeah. That's not the team.
Not the team.
Yes. Okay. Next worst of the week nominee, the Bucks' Bobby Portis had his home robbed. He was robbed during the Bucks game on Saturday, November the 2nd. Then he came online. He went on Twitter and revealed and said that most of his prized possessions were stolen. It was kind of he was basically reading this whole spiel about, hey, Milwaukee, if you go and report something and we are able to retrieve some of these possessions, you will be rewarded. Handily is what he said. So, just a quick worst of the week nominee. I have no more details on this robbery.
We don't know what was taken.
Prized possessions.
Prized possessions.
Mm-hmm. Most of his prized possessions is what Bobby Portis said.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. He also said, I've been in the league for 10 years. Can you believe that?
He added that?
It was part of it. It was part of his minute 30 spiel on.
He's saying what? I got 10 years worth of prize possessions. Like, I mean, he's got a championship ring. That would be a terrible thing to lose.
Yes.
Like that, right? Like, so yeah, this is going to be the actual worst of the week.
Yeah,
I imagine. But what he was offering, like $40K, I think, for information about this. So hopefully, a lot of the stuff gets returned, and hopefully, it ain't the championship ring.
This definitely a good candidate for worst of the week. Although our next one here, this could be it as well. A final worst of the week nominee. It appears as though a member of the San Antonio Spurs farted, released some gas during introductions. Because you see players, Victor Wembanyama, you see
stinky. He literally did the stinky.
Yeah, you see a player on the side there. That's CD Sissoko. He's just keeps on waving his hand. Chris Paul, look at his face.
Everybody's swimming.
Chris Paul has a big stanky face. CD Sissoko can't. He just can't handle it. There's Chris Paul coming back for, whoa, I've got to come back to this guy. Now I think Jeremy Sohan is the guy.
Yeah, he was walking like with a strut there.
He does. It still looks like he's flaunting. He's a little proud of something.
Yeah.
Now I'm not sure. Haven't done any more investigative work here at all. But I'm going Sohan. Although he kind of makes it feel like he's also smelling something bad. But he seems proud of it.
I don't know.
Yeah. It could be his own.
It looked like he was strutting out at the end.
Oh,
there.
you like that?
Yeah, and everybody else is going, oh, stinky, and holding this and doing this.
But there's the coaches in the second row that are also doing it. So how far did this thing go?
This was quite a fart.
Yeah, is it a fart?
Oh.
Yes, I'm not convinced. Yeah, we all assume.
What other odor is it? What whiff are they getting?
I mean, somebody spraying something on.
Wow,
even that fan I just noticed.
In the blue
T-shirt.
How many rows back is this fart going?
Yeah.
Wemby giving high fives with his shirt over his nose.
Yeah.
Look at that strut. That's a man that just dropped a bomb. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought, by the way, at the start there, you were going to say when you were like, I haven't done more investigative work, that you were going to say, we have a $40,000 bounty going out to anyone that can tell us who farted in this clip.
You think Chris Paul would tell anybody? I think he would. I think he would let people know.
If it was him.
No, I think he'd do it for anybody.
Yeah, he would. You're right. Like, like when guys have their jerseys untouched, like that's a technical foul. He's like, Sohan farted. Coach, Sohan farted.
He benches him.
Yeah, he likes being a detective. One last one before we go. Literally, Trey could be worst of the week because he lost the October bets, but he made a great video of him getting prepared to be a pickle, as he's been for this entire season. So just wanted to include it. If you want to watch on YouTube, we'll put it out as a short as well. But this is behind the scenes of Trey preparing.
A day in the life of Pickle Man. Yeah. Let's see what he always showers in it. Oh my God. Okay. I didn't know you showered in that thing.
Yeah, got to keep it clean.
Sure.
This was 90% on Monday when I still liked wearing it.
Yeah. You got a good smile on your
face. Like, oh, look how funny it is to be doing all this stuff dressed like a pickle.
Playing basketball, working out,
getting a pump
reading and stuff like that. Not as fun by day 2 or 3, though.
Literally not as fun by day 2.
Yeah, but the best...
dreading it. I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow on Saturday, where I wake up and don't have to put it on. Will I still want to, though?
Oh. Are you going to burn it or something?
No, I think it'll be a good costume for next year.
Oh, some cameos from your daughter there. That's nice.
Yeah.
Did you have the most inspired AO today because this is the last day?
Last day, baby!
Yeah.
There it is.
It was good. Having it for a week makes it a funny punishment, I think.
It's great punishment in the history of the show. We haven't done that. We haven't had a punishment last more than one show.
No.
Extendo.
I liked it because it was a legit. This sort of sucks.
Yeah.
It was fun. It's because that's it. It's fun for a day. It's fun for a show.
Totally.
Not the end of the world.
No.
You're sort of looking forward to it. Mix things up, but yeah.
Yeah.
By day 2, 3, 4, 5. Ugh.
Yeah. Finally, this is the worst of the week. In a backwards way, the worst of the worst. Not the worst of the week. The actual worst of the losing the bet. Because in a weird way, losing a bet and doing it for one day, you're kind of the winner. Camera's on you.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. But 5 days now.
You did go Scumbag Steve here today with your pickle costume. No undershirt.
Is there anything under?
Wow. Bottoms too?
Hey, I don't know.
There's a pickle under that pickle costume? Damn.
I believe the word is gherkins.
That looks insane.
What a shot.
Those gams.
Don't look at my gams, please. No gams.
All right, go.
I'm tucking now. Not like that. I kind of like that. Tight squeeze.
We will be posting the day in the life of Pickle Man as a short, so go check that out on our YouTube page.
I like this way.
Yeah,
I can stretch the pickle out now.
You literally look like a pickle there.
Huge.
All right, from pickles to pick'em. Tess, I hope you're hungry because you are not doing well here in the month of November, and we're gonna have a big ass pie that a man's got to eat. Whether it takes one day or a week, it's gonna be a big ass pumpkin pie. But I bring that up because you're 0-3 right now. And you're trailing by 3 games, the front runners. But what's our game tonight? Lots of November left. You can get back in.
Yeah, Trey and I have picked the same pick for the last 2 nights. So maybe we'll split a pie at the end of this month if we're both the worst. But we went different today. There's a great game. Golden State visiting the Cavs. The 7-1 Warriors versus the 9-0 Cavs.
Wow.
I'm the only one to take the Cavs. Why are you guys taking the Warriors? Just because they look so freaking good and beat the Boston Celtics of all teams on the road?
Yeah, a little bit. And, this line is 4.5 for Cleveland. So, I know.
Gotta win by
I know
5
you get
or
into
more.
a close game, and then you got to play the foul game, and you get free throws, and you can sort of get your cover that way. But this could be a close loss for the Warriors.
Yes.
So that's why I think we're going to get a good Friday night game here between these two teams. A close one at that.
We had different thought processes because for me, the whole week I've been trying to pick which pick is most likely to be chosen by a pickle. So on Monday, we had a green team in the mix, easy to choose.
Yep.
Then we had a game that had Philadelphia, starts with a P, chose them.
Oh.
Then we had Portland, started with them.
Wow.
Also started with a P, so I picked them. Today was tough, though. Warriors, Cavs. So I had to change it to Gherkin State Warriors. And that's how I decided to go with the Warriors tonight.
The way I've been picking is I see what Tass picked and I go the opposite in the morning. And sometimes it works. It's the weirdest thing in pick.
Swerve mode.
Good
Sometimes
move.
guys are just like on a cold streak and just like go the opposite. And it's working for me and Ash at least right now. So 3 of us with the Warriors to keep it close enough or win. And obviously Tass needs the Cavs to win by 5 to get his first W here in the November pick'em. All right, before we go, let's get to some rapid fire fun. Pickle, you've got the questions, we've got the answers.
Oh, and I've got a pickle-related question for you, because as we've seen, I've been wearing this dumb costume for an entire week.
Yeah.
Fellas, what's an article of clothing that you've had for way too long? Skeets.
This shirt, which I brought in just to show people here on YouTube. Yeah, why not? It says, who do you love on it? It's got a bunch of faces.
Yep.
It's pretty worn, as you can see. There's holes in it and stuff. It's got the classic, look at those built-in pit stains.
Yeah.
You can't get them out.
I'm having a hard time deciding what color this shirt is supposed to be.
It looks
yellow.
Is it white or is it yellow?
Well, it's
Yeah.
yellow.
Okay,
but,
okay,
yeah,
at least
Was it white?
I mean, I don't know. Here's how old this shirt is, though. Seriously. My buddy Grish, your buddy Grish, our buddy Grish. He wore this shirt when he's in 6th grade. That man is 45 years old, okay? I got this shirt off Grish in high school in a clothing draft where we all got together. Everybody throws in the clothes they don't want or they don't fit them anymore. I pulled this one. And I still have it and do still wear it despite those pit stains built into it.
Was it a high pick in the draft?
I don't remember. No, there were some jerseys in the mix and stuff
cool,
like
yeah.
that, but yeah.
Yeah, the collar on that is insane.
Oh yeah, it's like gone, man. It's absolutely falling.
like lace.
It's falling. I could rip this so if I just went like this, it
Don't do it,
it would
man.
fall apart. No, I can't. So
That's awesome.
That's my answer.
Yes, I also have something,
Hey, I'm loving
I also
this.
have something I cannot throw out. This was my grade 9 basketball jersey.
Wow.
Because we got these beauty sleek jerseys at Gordon Graydon. You know, this was so cool in 1995 when I was in grade 9.
Yep.
I loved it. I don't know how it's an XL. It was monstrous on me then. It would be monstrous on me now, but it still feels so good. It's got my last name on the back. My first jersey I've ever had with my last name on it.
It's such a weird jersey because when you had it flipped around, it almost looks like your name is graded.
Yeah.
The way they designed it.
Gordon Graydon Memorial Secondary School. It's gone now. It's in memory.
How old were you? You said when you had
14, I guess.
It's a pretty good high school jersey.
Oh, that's why it was
It's
so
in
cool.
good shape too.
They were, I don't know how they spent this much on a jersey because it felt like, whoa, you are going all out for this jersey.
That shine to it. Yeah, we had
so
those too.
sleek.
That was it.
Cloth.
Yeah,
Oh,
I thought they were ahead of the curve. So that was my jersey then for Reggie Miller, who had that 31. I can't let it go.
No, you can't.
way.
You should
Awesome.
frame that,
Yeah.
man. Put it up.
I don't know why they picked XL. I think they just gave everybody an XL.
Yeah,
Probably.
I had
Yeah.
to wear a lot of giant jerseys when I was a tiny boy. A lot of billowing jerseys. JD, what do you got?
I too brought one.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Looked
Show
in
and
my
tell.
closet and I came up with this guy. Remember this one? This is our starters mechanic shirts that I didn't have to wear one, but I got one.
Yep.
I had one of every color, but I'm down to this one, and I'm like, I don't know. I actually kind of like it. I
Yeah.
think it kind of suits me. I never wear it, but I might bring it into the
Yeah,
rotation.
it does
you know?
suit you. I remember when we got handed those, I was like, this has got to be the dumbest fucking shirt I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But then, for some weird reason, they looked really good on camera.
Yeah, they look
they
great.
did.
I don't know why, but it worked on everybody.
Yeah.
So-
It was just sort of weird to be thrust into that. Like, well, you're in summer league, so now everybody wears polos or whatever. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Because we never did that.
Yeah.
It's like, why do we have to do this? And
But
they're like,
they're
just
not-
do it.
They're not even polos.
I know, yeah.
We're
exactly.
gonna
And
fix
they're like,
cars in those.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. They were
We
like,
made
well,
it a bit, yeah.
what's more starters? You know, not polo shirts. Let's do mechanic shirts.
Get under the hood.
You know, they're
Talk
hip.
about the
They're
game.
cool.
Yeah. Because when I think of hip and cool, I think
of the squirrel nut
mechanic shirt.
zippers and the starters.
Yeah, what do you think, JD? A couple of years later, we got, I guess they were maybe mechanic shirts, but they looked more like bowling shirts.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were definitely
Yeah.
more bowling. I like this one better.
Yeah.
I think the
Personally.
standard is better for sure.
Yeah, it's great.
JJ Redick benched D'Angelo Russell earlier this week due to a lack of attention to detail. If you've seen the clips, JJ, he's got a point. But guys, what is something where you don't pay attention to the details? Skeets.
Well, it's funny we're showing off all of our favorite clothing items, or at least old clothing items, because I pay no attention to details when it comes to washing clothes.
Ooh.
I don't care what it says on the tag.
Ooh.
I don't care if it says cold or warm or delicate or whatever. I'm just washing it. You're going in,
I'm washing it.
and you're getting washed. I don't really care what you're in there with. And maybe that's why my shirts are falling apart. But yeah, and I pay attention to detail with a lot of things in my life. That's the OCD kicking in, but not when it comes to washing clothes. I just don't care enough.
So what are you saying? You just turn it on.
I just
go.
Yeah, like I mean, if we
no
really
settings.
wanted to do it, we'd be like looking at the tag and like
Yeah.
there's a lot of directions for
Sure.
each piece of garment. But I don't care.
You're what, just cold wash it?
Generally,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not separating a lot and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Even your whites, huh?
not really. Not really. This used to be white.
Wash with the yellows.
I'm learning a lot here today. That's my answer.
That's good.
My recently Halloween decorations that I put up didn't go well. I had these, you know, those bats that are well lit. They're these lit bats.
Okay.
Well lit. Why do I call them well
These
lit?
bats are lit.
Yeah, they are lit. They're a Home Depot buy. But they came with these suction cups and hooks on them, but I was putting them on wood. So the suction cups wouldn't work.
Right.
So I literally took nails and just hammered through the bats. Then the bats were metal. But it made no sense looking back. Looking back, the bats had holes sort of within them because the bats have these large spaces. So
Right.
I could have literally put in nails and just
Hung them up,
them.
yeah.
Although at the same time, I was hanging them at an angle for effect. And so it would have been a little bit more difficult. It wasn't hanging them straight up. So at the same time, I did realize it after a while and then started hammering and just putting them on. And it was,
Did you break them when you hammered through them?
No, but it wasn't easy taking them down. Post-Halloween.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Seems like it worked.
It worked.
Okay,
I just fought through it. Put my head down. Did it.
Little elbow grease. JD, what's something you don't pay attention to the details about?
Yeah, it's my finances. I don't think I've looked in my bank account for 6 months, and Rachel takes care of it all.
Oh, okay.
So, like, she could have, like, an offshore account. I would never know. Would never know.
Draining you for everything you have.
She keeps telling me we have no money, so that's probably
And you're like, well, I guess I gotta take your word for it.
What's going on? I'm Sisyphus over here. But yeah, finances. I gotta get on that.
You're gonna get on it now?
Let me log in here real quick. Uh-oh. You just got cheeved.
Oh, no.
This insane rapid-fire question comes from our guy Cheeve, who emailed in earlier this week and said, when I suggested pizza at the Garden tonight, Kathy said it's a bad stadium food. Too wide and floppy. She thinks popcorn is the best because it's more vertical than horizontal. Guys, what are some of your favorite vertical foods?
I hate this question
Skeef,
so much.
tell me about a vertical food.
All right, my favorite vertical food. I guess I'm going chicken shawarma on the vertical spit.
Yeah,
At least it's vertical on the spit.
Yeah.
When they go to shave it off, you can
Yeah.
go chicken, you can go lamb, you can go beef, whatever you're doing. But like,
It ain't vertical after that, though.
yes, it is.
It
when I
can
hold
be,
it up,
yeah.
like this is the stupidest question. What do you mean? How is popcorn horizontal?
Well, a popcorn
not
bag
vertical.
is vertical.
Or-
Yeah.
Vertical.
Yeah.
It's in a container.
How's it vertical?
You're not coming
container.
to your seat with a tray full of popcorn, like it's in a vessel that
Easier.
you
Yeah.
have to go
vertical.
into.
I think you're more mad at the differentiation
So
between
how's a
vertical and
pita
horizontal.
not vertical then as well?
It is.
Exactly.
I agree with
Pita's
you.
vertical,
You
yeah.
Well, he
hold
just
it
told me
like
it
this.
wasn't
No,
when
I
it's
don't know.
taken off.
be.
Yeah.
If you could get a plate of shawarma, I guess.
Yes,
Like,
of course.
without-
Yes, you could.
Yeah.
Horizontal would be the plate of shawarma.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
You go in there and they order. They say you want vertical or horizontal.
Yeah, okay. If we start doing that, then this makes a lot more sense.
The terms are funny, the vertical and horizontal for sure, but I do agree with Kathy that a pizza is tough to eat in an arena. That's what she's saying, is that it's difficult to, they do give you in a nice box,
yeah.
and it ain't that hard to carry, but as we're saying, popcorn easier to carry.
Great stadium snack.
It's a great stadium snack.
Yeah,
It's a
they're
way-
two different things. Pizza's a food item. To me, popcorn is a snack.
Yeah.
Like one's a meal,
Right.
Yeah.
in air quotes, but yeah, the other's a snack.
Yeah, eating meals is hard at arenas, period.
Yeah, you're in tiny seats and stuff like that. You gotta carry it back.
That's
But
why-
I think pizza's actually not bad for an in-stadium food.
Yeah, it depends on how wide it is.
Well, yeah. How floppy it is.
it
Just
can
fold
flop
it.
around.
You fold
Fold
it
it,
up,
yeah.
Italian style.
Well, the reason my choice is similar to shawarma,
Okay.
but I would pick a hot dog. Now, I like a hot dog in a foil, and so I can
Yeah.
ketchup it, mustard it, relish it, and walk on.
Right.
Yeah.
And, wrap it, and just, if I have to go to the bathroom, I can put it in my pocket. I would never do that. That would be
Pocket dog.
disgusting.
You just rest it on the urinal,
Oh, dude, gross. I hate when that happens.
but it would have to be horizontal.
It'd be horizontal.
I said hot dog today to Rachel today. She's like, "That's a horizontal food."
This is
when
why
you
this is a
actually
very
eat it.
insane
Toughie.
question,
It's a
guys.
toughie.
Yeah, but it would be easier to carry from concessions to your
Yeah.
seat. And I think that's where Kathy's problem is. It's a big problem.
The carrying.
The carrying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my answer. Sticking to it.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Okay.
Give me ice cream cone.
Oh yeah.
Now
Yeah.
that's a vertical food.
Boom. If I could drop this mic, I would, but I can't.
Yeah. Just slam it. Yeah, that's one of the most vertical foods because if you go horizontal, it's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like that.
And now
Finally, a good answer.
It's not exactly a meal, but it is
No.
food that is
No.
vertical.
Yes, it is.
And it's delicious.
It is.
I love the idea of a restaurant that only serves stuff that could come horizontally or vertical. You're like
Right.
Shawarma, ice cream, and you have to order it horizontal or vertical. I'll take a vertical shawarma and a horizontal ice cream. They're like, all right, so 3 scoops in a bowl. I gotcha.
All right, Peter out. Okay, I got you.
They have vertical concessions and horizontal concessions. Weird stuff.
It really did my head in thinking vertical foods, though. It's like seafood tower.
Definitely.
Definitely vertical.
Definitely.
Okay.
Burger stack.
Burger, yeah, even just burger.
Burger, yeah.
That's vertical.
Nachos.
You're building
Somewhat.
up.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
It's somewhat. You're building up.
Yeah.
Like that's
It
vertical.
can be a sloppy Joe. There's a lot.
Sloppy Joe is more horizontal. I would
yeah.
agree.
There's a lot of stuff. Corn dog. That's a vertical.
What about a churro?
Oh, that's a vertical.
That's vertical.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like a banana.
Curved.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of both.
Yeah.
Still vertical.
You're right. You're right. Yep.
Chief, you're driving us insane, man.
Like a pepperoni stick.
That's vertical.
I agree. Totally agree.
Snap into a Slim Jim?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, like that.
Those
Yeah.
chomps.
Beef jerky, though, maybe with horizontal. The stick,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
flat. Yeah, okay.
Corn on the cob.
Corn on the cob.
Oh, that's a tricky one.
Corn
Corn
on
on,
the
see,
cob.
like corn on the cob, I immediately think horizontal.
Same.
Definitely.
That's how you're
Typewriter.
eating it if you're sane, but you could eat it vertically. If you're...
Vertical eat. Wow. Never seen that.
But but I could eat any of these horizontal foods. I could eat vertical if I'm lying down on my back.
That's true.
If you're horizontal.
It's kind of like a funny TikTok account, right? Like, I'm switching it up. You think corn on the cob should be... How about like this?
All right, Chief.
Can he do it?
We got chiefed hard here in Rapid Fire. But that's Rapid Fire, Not So Rapid. That's another Drop podcast. Hopefully it was a classic, but you tell us by leaving us a 5-star rating and review, by hitting the like button, by subscribing, by sharing the show. Thanks for joining us all week long, either on YouTube or listening to the podcast. We really appreciate it. My guy, Ghostface Ziller, says there's 28 NBA games on this weekend. That's too many games.
That's a lot of games.
That's a lot of games, but we're going to be back on Monday to hit you with our NBA weekend winners and losers. So hopefully we'll see you here live at 10 a.m. Eastern or a little bit later in your podcast feed. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the basketball. And until then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, there's a great scene in Ace Ventura that uses the term gherkin because it is an expletive covered by gherkin. So that's not the actual term in the movie, but when you see the edited versions, gherkin covers it. Thanks to the stream team for making us Google that, giving us that information.
Right.
Because it was a great scene to watch.
That was good.
Everybody watch Ace Ventura this weekend, in addition to the 28 NBA games. Embrace the weekend, people.